Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on what time zone you're in or what time you're watching this video. Today we're back with Kahan, Growing Sideways, part of the 6th season album, which has been absolutely stellar. So I'm excited to check out more. Hope that you are too. Love you all. Without further ado, let's jump right in, shall we? Let's go.
So I took my medication and I poured my trauma out on some sad-eyed middle-aged man's overpriced new leather couch. And we argued about Jesus, finally found some middle ground, said I'm cured. And I divvied up my anger into 30 separate parts. Keep the bad shit in my liver and the rest around my heart. I'm still angry at my parents for what their parents did to them, but it's a start.
Jesus.
But I ignored.
Hang on. Man, that's such a big line, because it's like you think about a lot of the traumas that a lot of people go through. It's almost like generational trauma, right? And it's like traumas passed on to them from their parents, passed on to them from their parents, passed on to them from their parents. And it's not intentional. And I think that's one of the very important things to think about, is that like it's not like your parents intended for you to have to deal with some of the issues that they are having to deal with, but that we're all human and that we have to share these burdens together. And that's part and parcel why some of those come out to us, because it's like we're all just trying to get through this. And sometimes we reach out to others in ways that are not always the most helpful, but really we're not doing it intentionally. And obviously that's not all the cases, but that's such a brilliant way to put that line. And I love that so much. Something else that's really cool. You said divvied up my anger into 30 separate pieces or something like that. And then some went to the liver, some went to the heart. And it's like some going to the liver because you're trying to filter out the bad, right? That's what your liver does. It acts as a filter. But in combination with that, your liver is also a filter of alcohol. So maybe it's like he's trying to drown out the worst things using alcohol. And that's why it's down there in the liver. Whereas the other stuff is in his heart, where he can keep it close and remember it and hold on to it. But so it's like you divvied it up, you split it up, but it's all still there. So did you really make any progress? Did you? And maybe that's why it's called growing sideways, because you're not growing upwards, you're not progressing, you're growing, but it's not in the direction that you maybe expected to. And so it's like literally taking all the anger and just splitting it up into smaller pieces. But if you collect it all again, if you summarize it, it's the same as it was before. So that sitting on a leather couch maybe didn't actually help at all. Damn, that's heavy, man.
But I ignore things and I move sideways till I forget what I felt in the first place. At the end of the day, I know there are worse ways to stay alive.
Damn, bro.
'Cause everyone's growing and everyone's healthy. I'm terrified that I might never have met me. Oh, if my engine works perfect on empty, I guess I'll drive. I guess I'll drive.
Yo, the way he writes lyrics is so fantastic. Like genuinely just so fantastic. And he uses a lot of like vehicle imagery and road imagery, and I think he does it so well. And it must mean a lot to him. And I'd love to know kind of where that comes from. But one of the things that he said there is, I'm terrified that I may never have met me. Because if you're spending so much time in a mindscape that's been altered, like whether it's through alcohol or whether it's through drugs or whatever it might be, maybe you even feel like you're a hollowed out version of what you used to be because of all the trauma. In that sense, have you ever met yourself? Do you even know who you really are, because you've never been separated from all those things? And so you might, like, the person that you are isn't who you truly are, it's who you are in this scenario. But that even leads you back to the idea of, do you ever get to a scenario where you are the perfect version of yourself? Probably not. But you strive for it. And amidst striving for that, he finds himself moving just sideways, just growing sideways. And so he's not moving upwards. He's just dodging the things in his life that are causing him this pain and ignoring it all. And so he doesn't actually experience true growth, but he is able to get far enough away from them that he's able to continue living. And that's good enough. And you know what? Sometimes that is just good enough. Sometimes all you can do is just move away from the traumas that you're experiencing for the time being and just get through this bit of life that you're experiencing. And that's okay. It's if you let yourself sit there where that becomes not okay. And so obviously here, this is why we started off with him on the couch. And that's such what a brilliant message to like just encapsulate with this song. And then he says, I'm driving on empty. And it's like, yeah, all the fumes are gone. You're not even sure. You're literally, now that fuel, when you think about it, like I just said, a hollowed out version of yourself. And maybe that's what he means by that you're inside, you don't feel anything anymore. And you're really a hollowed out version of yourself, but you're driving on empty. So at least you're still driving. It's fine. I'll drive. Amidst all this stuff, amidst all this crap, it's fine. I'll just keep going. Wow. Just wow. Noah Kahan, bro. Jesus, man.
I forgot my medication, fell into a manic high. Spent my savings at a Lulu. Now I'm suffering in style. Why is pain so damn impatient? Ain't like it's got a place to be. Keeps rushing me.
Wow.
But I ignore things and I move sideways till I forget what I felt in the first place. At the end of the day, I know there are worse ways to stay alive. 'Cause everyone's growing and everyone's healthy. I'm terrified that I might never have met me. Oh, if my engine works perfect on empty, I'll drive.
Hang on. I'm sorry. I honestly thought the chorus was going to end there, but something that I think I forgot to mention the first time I heard the chorus, he says, everyone's healthy, everyone's fine. But it's like, really, when you think about it, no one is perfect. No one is doing absolutely perfect. Everyone has issues that they deal with, but because we spend so much time not talking to others about it, the perception that we have of other people's lives is that they are perfect, they are healthy, they're happy. But that's the thing about being human, is that there's always stuff that can be improved, and we don't necessarily see that others are going through the same thing, especially in times of social media is so prominent. You see all the good things in people's lives and you think, wow, my life is shit by comparison. And it's not. It's just that we don't necessarily get to have these honest conversations and vulnerable conversations with people to understand what they're experiencing in their life, and to understand that they're human just like us, and that we're not broken. We're just striving to improve throughout our entire life. And that's not a bad thing. Something they said there is, why is pain so impatient and it's always pushing me? And it's so true. Pain pushes you to do things that you never might have ever thought you would do, or things like it drives you mad with pain. And it's not pain just in the physical sense, it's pain in the mental sense and the spiritual sense. It's these traumas, these difficulties that we go through that make you do things that you might never have expected yourself to do, or to experience things you might never expect to experience. And it's because it's pushing you. That pain makes you feel less of yourself, makes you feel like less. And in that sense, to find something more, we do things that maybe we shouldn't have, or we do things that maybe are not good for us. And that's what pain does, is it pushes you into these situations that are worse, even though you think you're trying to do better. And that makes you feel like you're growing sideways. Bro, Jesus Christ, man.
I guess I'll drive.
Oh my God.
I don't mind, I'll watch it go. Yeah, it's better to die numb than feel it all. I move sideways till I forget what I felt in the first place. At the end of the day, Lord knows there are worse ways to stay alive. 'Cause everyone's growing and everyone's healthy. I'm terrified that I might never have met me. Oh, if my engine works perfect on empty, I guess I'll try. I guess I'll try.
Bro. Man. You probably saw me shaking my head, but I strongly disagree with the line there, but I think that's intentional. I think that Noah puts that there to give the sense of someone who's kind of given up, has let go, who does not feel like they can go forward anymore, and that's why the song gets its name. It's growing sideways, because that's all we feel like we can ever do. And then that person starts to feel like it's better to die numb than to feel anything at all, because when I feel pain. When I feel incompetence. When I feel a lack of confidence. And it's like all these things that you would have to feel if you weren't numb. And it's true that sometimes you can have a lot of pains and have a lot of traumas, but the problem is that most of the time, being alive in and of itself is a gift, and you don't necessarily see all the good things when you're letting the bad things cloud your vision. And so all this nice, this beautiful, brilliant stuff out here, you don't see it because up in your face, you've got these traumas that take the forefront, because negativity tends to be one of the strongest feelings that we can feel. And so it would be best, in fact, to actually look past those things, use those things to remind you that there can be darkness and that you can improve, but then look beyond that to see all the good things that are there. And sometimes, obviously, it's easier said than done. But I promise you, when you look back at your life, there are probably so many amazing, brilliant things that we have happen each and every day that we don't even necessarily take into consideration, because we spend so much time thinking about the things that are going wrong. I myself have been victim to that many times. In fact, some days nowadays, I still do that. And the problem with that is, if you spend your whole life looking at what could be better, you never take a minute to look at what is just so great. And that's the feeling that's kind of being experienced here, is someone who's given up on those things that are amazing, given up on those things that are brilliant and beautiful, and now would rather be left with nothing than face the pains along with those brilliances. Wow, this was his. I like his ability to write feelings into existence in lyrics is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, and this is just. I'm blown away, to be honest. This was amazing. Yeah, I hope that if you're experiencing any kind of, if you're going through anything, you're not alone. First of all, remember that you are not alone. On top of that, keep in mind that amidst all of the pains and all of the problems, there's a lot of light. You just have to take a minute to find it, and to look past all that darkness that clouds your vision because of all those things that you're going through. Things will improve, things will get better, and you'll be able to feel that joy again. It's just a matter of time, and it's just a matter of letting others into your life, because genuinely, if we don't talk about the things that we're going through, they are always so much more difficult to deal with. Sometimes they feel insurmountable. So make sure that you keep people in your life that you love and that help kind of raise you up and keep you strong and push for better. And I hope that those things that you're experiencing, that they someday that you look back on them and go, wow, I made it past that and things are so much better. Wow. That was, wow. I hope that your week is better than your day. Your month is better than your week. Your year is better than your month. Love you all. I will see you on the next one.